This is going to be a demonstration on how to go ahead and do a submarine. So for a real quick example, if I have a basic drawing here, I'm going to go ahead and start new standard.iam or IPT. I already did that. And I'm going to create a sketch on a plane. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Now it's up to me to decide what shape I want my submarine to be. So let's say that I want it to go ahead and be a rectangle. Rectangle is probably not going to be the best design for a submarine, but that's alright. It'll give you the concept of how to test. So if I go ahead and make my submarine, let's say 8, let's make it 6 feet by 6 feet. So if I've got a 6 foot by 6 foot submarine and I finish sketch, now I can go ahead and extrude that, and let's say that I'm going to make it a 6 foot cube. So I've got this cube that's going to be my perfect submarine. Not really, because it's probably not the best design for a submarine, but it'll give us the concept. Next thing I need to do is I need to make sure that I meet my constraints. So to do that, I'm going to right click, go into iProperties, go to Physical tab, and right now the material doesn't matter because I'm looking for my volume constraint. So right now I'm going to write this number down. I'm at 373,248. Dead on. And that is inches cubed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close out of this for a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and shell this out. So let's say I shell it, and let's make it 0.5 thick. So what that does now is I didn't click any surface. Now my material thickness on the sides should be 0.5 of an inch. Looks like it might be a little more than that. So I'm going to come back in here. Oh, it's 5 inches. I want 0.5. There we go. So now I can see that it's closer to what I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to double check my properties here. And I'm going to go back to physical and I'm going to update. And my new number is 15,337 inches cubed. Now we are looking for a number in cubic feet. So what I need to go ahead and do is convert the difference in cubic feet. The difference between the two numbers that I found is going to go ahead and be my actual volume inside of my object. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and get my calculator. And my first number was 373,248, and I'm going to subtract my 15,337. Now there are 1,728 cubic inches in a cubic foot. I found that by going 12 times 12 times 12 because there's 12 inches in each direction of the cubic foot. Gives me 1,728. So I'm going to divide this number by 1,728. And I find that my submarine has a cubic volume of 207 feet cubed. That's just a rough number for me. So that means that I go ahead and meet my volume constraint because it needs to be at least 120 cubic feet. Now I could go ahead and start adapting things to get it closer because that's probably going to give me the best submarine. But this is just an example. We'll go ahead and work for you. Now I'm changing my material to try to go ahead and get something that works for us on mass. So we need to be under 1,500 pounds. You can see that I'm just barely over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply there, close, come back out to my shell, and I'm going to shrink this down to 0.45. And I'm going to come back in here and update, and now I'm definitely underneath, so I could go back and tweak that a little more. I'm not going to worry about recalculating my volume due to the fact that I had plenty over. If I was real close, I might deal with recalculating before and after the shell. So if I was going to do that, I could suppress my shell, and that turns it off. I could get my new volume by coming in here, the before volume, which should be the same as what we originally wrote down. Then I could go ahead and close, and I could unsuppress my shell and check again. That's also convenient if you change the actual size. So this is my first video showing how to create it. So I've created the submarine. In the next video I'm going to show you how to do the stress analysis on the submarine.